total opposition to the government's employment legislation. Well, we're now going over to Brighton to join our industrial correspondent, Martin Aveney.
Even though that law is the existing legislation and not Mr Tebbett's new bill.
If we take strike action on the 22nd of September, we shall not only be supporting the nurses and the health service workers, we shall be supporting this motion because we shall be saying to this government, we're not prepared to accept your legislation. We're not prepared to see our movement destroyed. We owe it to those who built our movement, but above all we owe it to ourselves to defend our rights as trade unionists. I ask each and every one of you not merely to support the motion, but to translate it into action.
Change the book, but the story remains the same if you take a look.
Can you tell me about your shoes first of all?
Well, I think I got them from Russell Bromley, and I think it cost about £15.
What about your makeup?
My mum did that, and it's all from Rimmel, the make, and all my jewellery. I got that from Tammy Girl. And
How often do you wear makeup like that?
I can't wear it at school or anything because I go to a convent private school, but I just wear it to places like if you're going out for the evening or a disco or something special. I don't wear it every day.
And how old are you?
I'm 11.
I do hope the cameras aren't on the keyboard too well there. Right, and it now wants to know the address of the computer that we want to get through. Well, I'll try and get to the one we were getting to. 219-201-004.
That was a secret little piece of code you put in there. That,
right. Now, we are now at last through to this London computer. The password is that. We're through. Mail call.
Computer security error.
I think we have some hackers. I think you...
Hacker song. Put
Fine.
another password in, bomb it out and try again. Try to get past logging in. We're hacking. That's brilliant. Try his first wife's maiden name. This is more than just a game. It's real fun, but just the same, it's hacking, yes.
Yeah, well, oh no, now, go away. Right, now, if they've left this system anything like intact...
I got to the right people, said this is what I want to do, and convinced them that I was up to the task.
So you went to the IRA and told them what you would want to do, rather than the IRA come to you and say, will you do it?
That's it, yeah.
What were they?
My name is Rohes Thomas Everard. I'm a breeder of Arab horses. This is my 4-year-old stallion, Yamour, who I bought in because I felt he would complement my mares and would put right the faults that they've got, and we would hopefully breed a very nice animal. Dolly is, I think, exactly what the plain English breed would have been like. She's not very big, she's pretty plain in the head, her tail is low set, she's thick and heavy.
I wear them not only because pearls have been the thing for English women for years, but they have a sort of luminescence about them, and particularly pearl earrings, and they do just give your face a little lift. So they're not only worn to wear something, but they are, I choose pearls because they just have that extra quality.
Do you love their underclothes like the rest of Britain?
Yes. Who doesn't?
Warren Beatty type.
Oh, completely. But not a faggot.
What?
Not a faggot.
And I had this head lead story today was Mrs. Thatcher's role in the Parkinson marriage. I mean, read like a woman's magazine or something.
You didn't see that on television.
Now, wait a minute, she's not hysterical.
No, she's just extremely feline.
So she's full.
Because the whole equipage comes from Bourne and Hollingsworth's window. I mean, it's a suburban view of what it's like to be grand and successful in politics. And she stands with this sort of day-glow costume on in the centre of it, surrounded by these strangely...
You're condescending. We've only just started. No, that's because it's a managerial administration. She is a manageress of a sub-managerial administration.
Well,
she has that feeling of a manager.
She's quite self-evidently a woman. There's no doubt about that. But she's like a mannequin. She's like something from a shop window. She's like some sort of ideal that the suburbs have of a well-dressed, well-groomed, well-turned-out woman. And she radiates the appearance of a creature of that gender.
24 days later, that bomb's going to explode and kill people. Are you conscious of that when you're setting it?
You don't dwell on things like that. You're putting a bomb in designed to kill people, but I don't think you dwell on it. I mean, you have years afterwards to dwell on that. But while you're doing it, no.
Good night, sweetheart. All my prayers are for you. Good night, sweetheart.
I'm a great believer that everything which lives on earth responds to sound. And I come down here at night and put a recording, probably of Al Burley singing Good Night, Sweetheart. I've different music for different occasions. For example, when a leek is on the verge of flowering, to pollinate, I'll probably put Johnny Mathis singing Let's Do It.
It was only yesterday that Mr. Tebbit had won the conference's loudest applause. Many would commend his fortitude now. He was lowered, oh so gently, to the ground. Someone said to the firemen, "Well done, lads."
We need support on the head. Stop it there. One of you up that ladder. Take that head. That's it. Don't let go of that head.
How do you find people who can afford that sort of money?
Well, they tend to find us rather than we find them. Eaton Square is a square of very high quality, and people do like to live in really high quality residential accommodation. And indeed, it is a lot of money. And if there are those who don't choose to pay $25,000 a year, say, there's an awful lot of London to go and live in if they don't wish to take on a flat of that size and at that cost.
They want to be skinny, not an ounce of puppy fat anywhere.
And what sort of age are we talking about to be that skinny?
Well, I think it now starts as of 10 years old.
I wouldn't like to be like some for folks, that's for sure. I'd like to be really slim, like the models in magazines.
Do many girls of your age diet?
Yeah, a lot of them now. My school and that, yeah.
Why is that?
They just like to look slim and... You see all these people on TV and they've got perfect figures. Yeah. And they try and be like them.
Just to have a nice figure would be nice. Oh, that's right. What's important about having a nice figure?
It just makes you look nicer and older.
You can see the whole basis of living here. If you're a boating man and you like a boat, the pleasure of the boat is looking after it on a daily basis. And that's half the point of owning a boat. Yeah. It's what, you know, the amount of use you can get out of it. Yeah. And if you live in a house...
down here now, these
are the boats that belong to the houses here. And it creates a very nice aspect. We're looking into an almost Venice-like operation here. Yeah. The houses are tight, and yet you're separated by a decent area of water, and the boats inside it. It's almost a Venice. It's a mixture of Venice, Porto, Sherry, Santa Barbara. It's a mix of all the marinas around the world, but taking the best of all of them.
From the same stable as the stud, now comes the bitch. She's still in the disco business. She's still on top.
You are actually losing money, Fontaine. How does that grab you?
I'm not exactly destitute, darling.
She's not only beautiful, she's a bitch.
Come back out on strike. And if you do, as far as I'm concerned, this union will forgive. But I'll tell you one thing. If you continue to work and continue to betray your fellow workers, you'll be stained not by this union. You'll be stained by the movement as a whole until the end of time.
Good evening. At the Tate Gallery tonight, a new event for the world of art. The awarding of the first Turner Prize. Well, I've never seen the Tate Gallery so crowded and so excited as it is at this moment. As you can see, they've organised an exhibition of works by the nominated artists. Now, Lynn Cook, you teach art at the University College of London, you write about art. I've heard a lot of people suggest that the art here is not anything that the general public could relate to. What's your view on that? Does it matter?
No, I don't think it matters very much at all. Partly because I think art at the moment is quite difficult, and that it's better to bring the public in to look at the art rather than to go and choose the most popular artist that a poll in the street might suggest.
I, in common with many writers, I think, feel that there's a great convulsion of stupidity happening in the world, mostly to do with television. People know a little about a lot and put very little effort into accumulating knowledge and culture. And when they do, it's almost like a sort of consumerism of culture.
At the other are the hard left, operating inside our system, conspiring to use union power and the apparatus of local government to break, defy, and subvert the law. That is when we have to stand up and be counted. That is when we have to do what we believe to be right.
When that coach is stopped, make sure the driver is well identified.
The nightmare I sometimes have about this whole experience runs as follows. I was involved in making a number of proposals which were partly at least adopted by the government and put in play by the government. Now, my worry is as follows, that there may have been people making the actual policy decisions, or people behind them who never believed for a moment that this was the correct way to bring down inflation. They did, however, see that it would be a very, very good way to raise unemployment. And raising unemployment was an extremely desirable way of reducing the strength of the working classes, if you like. That what was engineered there, in Marxist terms, was a crisis of capitalism which recreated the reserve army of labour and has allowed the capitalists to make high profits ever since. Now, again, I don't say I believe that story, but when I really worry about all this, I worry whether, indeed, that was really what was going on.
They're cautious about being trapped inside them getting washed as well as the lavatory. Prostitutes use them for their business. They're in there for 15 minutes and then it's all over. The door opens automatically after 15 minutes. Homosexuals use them. People use them as rubbish bins. If they've bought a new pair of trousers, they want to get changed, they leave the old trousers behind and walk out looking neat and tidy. Well, anything you think of carrying with you in the day, you'll usually find in the lavatory sooner or later.
I've sent all my staff down to clear up after the horses in Victoria Street. Over.
not supplementer, it's nominative.
Oh.
And you've scribbled on it.
It's neuter, not feminine.
Do you think this school will set you up better for future life?
Possibly, because if my manager, or my future manager, happens to be an old Reptonian, then they're always very willing to take on Reptonians because of the reputation of this sort of school. And also there are plenty of managers and directors with snobbish enough attitudes to take on public school people.
Just because they've been to public school?
Yes, for that reason solely. In some respects it isn't fair. But then again, you could say, well, we won't have summer holidays this year because some people can't afford a summer holiday. It's a ridiculous argument, absolutely ridiculous.
And, I mean, it will cost the government 3 times as much to educate you in this school as to educate you in the school you were at before. Do you think that's worth it?
Oh, yes, I'm worth it.
Basically, you're just making music out of other people's records. You just know what you're looking for out of it. You know the record inside out. When you're cutting up this break, you know what you're doing next. You're thinking about the next tune that's coming on the turntable and what you're going to do.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
(9611), and I'll give that number to you again at the end of this news flash.
The tragedy began about an hour before the match was due to begin, when supporters in a Juventus stand began climbing over the wall after fans in a neighbouring and overcrowded Liverpool stand began to spread out. Missiles were thrown in the air. We went to investigate the cause of the trouble. Suddenly there was an almighty crash of masonry about 6 feet from where we stood. In that instant, many people must have been crushed to death. Instead, in an astonishing display of insensitivity, the authorities deployed armed riot police. It had become clear that a slaughter had occurred.
This is the second bedroom with bathroom en suite.
So this is a 2-bedroom flat?
2 or 3-bedroom flat, yes.
How much does that cost?
Well, we are quoting 145,000.
That is the asking price?
That's the asking price.
For the fixtures and
curtains,
fittings?
carpets, fixtures and fittings, plus the rent.
There's rent as well?
Rent, which is 15,000 a year.
Yes.
Plus the service charge, which is approximately 3,000 a year for the heating, water, porterage and so forth.
So that's £18,000 a year?
Plus another approximately 3 for the rates. So you're talking in terms of 25,000 a year.
That you have to pay every year just to live here?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
La la la! Plenty rubber. Loads of rubber. Oh dear. Woohoo! Look at that one on her shoulder. A BMW! Oh, brilliant! A BMW! Did you see that? A BMW and it was all creamed. Oh, I love it.
music professor demanded a reward.
She's not very good sewer, Pete.
No, it's in bad condition, isn't it?
Malta missing.
There's a bit missing in the invert down on the left.
Bring it back a minute, Jay.
There, that'll do.
Tell you what, Pete.
What?
Is that a rat up there on the left-hand side?
I don't know. Can't see how come. Too much steam up there.
There.
Is it? Stuff one if it is. Go on, carry on.
Thought it was?
No. Oh, right. It is, yeah, it's moving.
Is it?
Yeah. How far are you down? That's not going to move.
You can have me.
Go past him. You'll jump on top and have a ride down.
You never know your luck, do you?
The place where I grew up no longer exists, apart from here in the local history library, photographic evidence of Queen Square in Old Trafford. This is where I grew up, and it was demolished in the late 1960s. And in a way, it was like having one's childhood wiped away. In Queen Square, my grandmother occupied the 4th house. We occupied the 5th house. And the 6th house was occupied by my mother's sister and her family. So it was a very strong community, and it was very tight, very solid. Well, there's nothing at Queen Square now. As you can see, everything has just vanished. It's just like the whole thing has been completely erased from the face of the earth. I feel great anger. I feel massive sadness. It's like a complete loss of childhood, because although I've always lived in Manchester, and I've always lived relatively close to here, to this part of Manchester, now, when I pass through here, or even being here today, it's just so foreign to me. And that's quite sad, I think.
This Abrahams, what do you know about him?
Repton chap. Jewish. His father's a financier in the city.
Financier?
I imagine he lends money.
It's very clear. What do they say about the son?
Academically sound, arrogant, defensive to the point of pugnacity.
As they invariably are.
Just how much money have you got available to invest in films?
Unlimited. We take projects as they come, one by one, but if we see fit that we see a picture that is, we think it's going to be a success, then we'll back it.
Where does this money come from?
The company is an international shipping company. We're based in Liberia. We have banking operation, real estate, and hotels.
You think it'll make you a reasonable return?
Yes, and we'll be back to make more pictures here.
Can you tell me, why do you wear your hair like that? Well, it's real for a start.
Yeah, it's through the religion. I'm a Rasta.
You're a Rasta, and that's why you don't cut it?
Yeah, basically.
Do people tease you for being a white Rasta?
Yeah, some of the time, but you got to take it.
Yeah, thank you.
You
want to take that fucking inspector down there, the stand up in the background there with...
Yeah,
one of them
You've been stopped and searched before?
Yeah, regularly.
Was any reason given to you for the stop and search then?
Always on suspicion of possession of drugs, or drugs being in the vehicle. That's their assumption.
Were any drugs found?
No.
How do you think you were treated?
As normal, you're always treated like animals, man. You saw what happened yourself. They just take liberties. They just rip the things off your car, they throw it down. You approach them to ask them a reason why. There's never any explanation. You're not good enough to even be answered. So, you know what I mean?
Excuse me, can you tell me what your reasonable suspicion was for stopping and searching that car and that driver?
Could you speak to the inspector who's standing behind you at the moment? He'll explain to you.
Inspector? Can you tell me what the reasonable suspicion was for stopping that car and searching that driver?
I believe that he thought there might have been drugs aboard the car.
What reason did he have for thinking that?
I haven't spoken to the officer.
Can I speak to the officer, or perhaps you could ask him?
I don't consider it
I would
my
like
part
me to
now
wear
to ask the
stuff
officer.
like that
I wish to continue my
Can I
patrol.
ask that?
But the officer has to have reasonable suspicion in
That's
order
correct,
to stop
yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
Could I ask the officer, Inspector?
You may do, but he may choose to make no comment.
The Princess of Wales was visiting a once troubled council estate at Tottenham and saw at first hand how craft projects and schemes for both young and old had transformed life at Broadwater Farm. She heard how the crime rate had dropped and many young people had started their own businesses.
Okay.
Well, I think that the situation is tragic. I think that once again we found ourselves in a position where the police have deliberately engineered a situation in order, I believe, to ensure that legislation to do with public order will be dealt with sympathetically by the Commons sometime later on in this year. We're people on Broadwater Farm, where Broadwater Farm has been raided and so on. I think that it all leads up to it's a clear provocation.
This screen is connected to the Reuters Monitor information system, and I'm going to access its dealing service to see if I can deal myself a quick profit 3,000 miles away in Bahrain. I think I'll buy myself £5 million worth of sterling at the current rate. So I press in abbreviate B5P70, which is the buying rate, transmit to confirm the order, and I wait a few seconds.
Hello, as you can see, it's Lorraine Chase. I'm at the Arad sale. It's just about to open. I think we've got, I don't know, 2 minutes to go or something. As you can see, there's crowds of people here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rather suits you, don't you? I thought it was going to be a blonde colour, but that's rather nice. And how much is that?
£30,000 reduced from 60,000.
Goodness me, that's a house. I've got a house on my back. Oh my goodness.
Ian's back, which is called The Face of Serenity. We took that design from 3 posters. That took a total of about 11 months to complete. I'd say the eyes, which were probably the most important part of that tattoo, took about 8 sit-ins to get perfectly right. And my wife, she'd done the eyeshadow and advised me on where to put what. It makes me proud, you know, when we went up to the convention last year, that this design helped me win the tattoo artist of the year, UK artist of the year.
Good dogs. Woodcock! Did you get that, Si? Well, just keep the mark, will you? This is a hell of a place to get into. Here, jeez. Si, can you mark that?
It could be construed as a medieval type covenant, but the law is the law.
But the law is not always the same as morality, is it? What is right and what is lawful is not always the same thing.
No, very possibly not. But we believe we are doing the right thing, morally and legally.
But surely it's the people who've decided that, and governments represent the people.
Yes, governments are there to represent the people and do what is right in the public interest. It is my view that this doesn't come under the heading of public interest.
You see, their dads are in the city, and the city's where these grey guys who run things are, because they've got the money that pays for all of this. It pays for her, and it pays for him to have a good time. Can you see yourself borrowing money got up like that? You've got to get introduced around. You see, there are people to do that. There are people who put the money together with the glamour, so the money can feel a bit glamorous and the glamour can feel a bit rich.
I see the snowdrops are coming up at long last.
Yes, we've been waiting for a long time. It's terrible weather.
I think that bearing in mind the amount of money that's being made in the city, the chances are we're going to send it to a city-based gentleman. As far as the price guide is concerned, I would suggest that we should pitch it at, we should ask offers in the region of £500,000. Having said that, I wouldn't rule out the chances of selling it for more than that. The person most likely to buy a house like this will undoubtedly be somebody from the city who's made an immense amount of money over the last year or so, and this is the type of house which he would like to have in the country. The chances are that he will spend an enormous amount of money on it, having bought it. There's one down the road here that's probably had about £1 million spent on it over the last 2 or 3 years, and that having done it up, he will probably not spend a great deal of time here.
It's very simple for you, really, you bankers. You've got to pick the right leisure property, or project, in the right place, with the right operator. If you do that, you won't ever lose any money.
Everybody wanted to lend money. Please borrow my money. Please take my money off me. I can remember one particular American banker coming to me and said, look, George, I need to lend some money. And I said to him, all right, I'll take 10 million off you. He said, oh, can't you take more? And I said, no, I only need 10 million for this. I don't need any more of your money.
These commercial data banks have information on virtually everybody in the country. I know that I'm on the computers because I've looked. You're probably on the computers too. And almost certainly, everyone around me here in this market town is on these commercial computers as well. We wanted to demonstrate just how much information is held on these private data banks and to find out how people reacted. But what would the computer say? Neither we nor our volunteers knew the answer. How you react to that.
Okay, fine.
And it's come back with the name of a man who doesn't have your surname.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the man's name known to you?
Yes, that's my husband. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, I don't see why you should have access to that kind of information. I mean, that in particular could be quite embarrassing, couldn't it?
Our next volunteer was also faced with the name of the man she was living with.
Oh.
You're Bridget Howard?
Yeah.
And can I ask you who Mark Golding is?
Goodbye, friend.
That's amazing. In one case, the financial information was so embarrassing, we agreed not to identify the person.
So tomorrow I will appear. I'd love to be there, but I just can't. This year I'll be looking strong and influential in my office clothes. But when I'm home, I stare in the mirror when there's no one else around. I'm practicing. £10,000, please. Oh, give me £10,000, please. Oh, give me £10,000, please.
Is this as far as it goes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, end of the line. Come on then, mate.
So, camera.
Wind. I've been up all night till 3 o'clock with winds, so I'm going back on the oranges now.
And then what about tonight?
No. Tonight there'll be hot vegetables. There'll be, you know, fish or meat with Brussels
Can you eat that?
Just some fruits. That's me.
Fruit? Just fruit?
Just fruits. Oh,
For how long?
Have the cooked vegetables neither? 2 or 3 days.
Carrots and broccoli?
No, because it fills you up with wind.
Feel yourself sinking down. And down, and down. That's beautiful. And with each breathing in and breathing out, you're sinking deeper and deeper into sleep, into deep sleep, into a peaceful sleep. Let the warmth and relaxation spread slowly downwards over your hips, over your buttocks and your thighs, down towards your knees. Almost as though a warm fluid is flowing downwards over your body. You feel more confident. It does not matter what other people think of you. It matters what you know about yourself. That's what matters.
We have a 500mm void under the floor to accept cabling, the big cabling that computers require. We have here glycol air conditioning piping. We have a very sophisticated fire detection system, including smoke detectors here and here. And we also have a big void under the ceiling to carry other air conditioning systems. And we've got bulletproof glass around this room as well.
The concept of the woman staying at home while a man goes out to make a successful career for himself belongs to a different era. Mrs. Thatcher proves it. If being Prime Minister doesn't get round the question of women not getting to the top because of men, I don't know what does.
Women in general want to aim for a certain level of achievement, but they don't need to get to the very top and have people look up to them, because they want some responsibility, but they aren't interested in becoming the top where everyone will admire them. They just want to achieve in their own way.
They're all painters, sculptors, musicians, filmmakers, well, everything that goes on downstairs is for everyone in the street. We've had lots of comments from the people that live round here, and they like what's going on. They were very suspicious at first, but it's fine now.
I was looking through magazines, looking for names, you know, like Vogue and names like that, like West End names. And then I quite like an artist, Claude Monet, so I named it after him. Monet, but pronounce it Monet, Monet shoes. Some people call it Monets. And that's how it all come about.
Why shoes?
Well, I looked around Bermondsey and there is no shoe shop in Bermondsey, not one. Even in the high street, there is no shoe shop. Well, there is now, because I've just opened another one down there.
Salaries outside for top salaries, fair make one gasp they're so large. You take the chairman of some of the big companies, £200,000 or £300,000 a year. You take the salaries in the city, they do make me gasp. £200,000 or £300,000, so many of them.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I speak to Mr. Gary Lineker, please?
Come in.
Oh, come on. I'm excited.
Yeah. Good morning. Mr. Lineker. Gary. Hello.
Hello.
Can we have a word with you, please? Sorry to interrupt you. Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Yes, because this is something rather special, you see.
Yeah.
We are here on behalf of the STARS Organisation for Spastics.
That's right. And you've been voted from all the little girls and boys as the top sportsman.
As a top sports star, you see. And we've been asked to present this to you from all the kids.
Yeah.
How's that?
Thank you very much.
What a surprise.
Very much a surprise. You could have told me about this one. Thank you.
He hasn't got his shoes on, has he?
No.
He's on his boots up.
You're lucky I've got my clothes on.
I consider that I'm dressing up as I might go to a fancy dress party, dressing as I am. It's not at all part of my life. It means that I have a certain amount of respect for the role that I had to play at a certain time, for the responsibilities and for the luxuries it gave me, and I'm prepared to carry on in that way. For me, it means nothing. I mean, my friends are artists and painters, creators, and I'd like to have been a creator myself, not just stuck with the label of somebody else's creation. I don't belong to anybody.
Black at 80. Thank you very much. Turning it on that KCA option. Chris, come in over. Hit it.
Monday turned out to be a watershed. We came in not really knowing what to expect after the hurricane and everything else, and we simply stared at the screens all day, watching the sea of red, as it was named, watching financial prices falling, and realizing that the British people had simply lost control over their economy. We had all been led to believe that Mrs. Thatcher was in control of events. A lot of us suspected that perhaps that was an exaggeration. It was clear that she was trying to cover up a lot of the cracks with a lot of rhetoric. We had to accept the logic of the market, which was quite simply that there was no longer any entity which we could reasonably and realistically call the Great British Economy.
Do you think she knew that?
I suspect that towards the end, with the kind of problems which emerged at the end, she began to suspect that perhaps she had been chasing an illusion, yes.
No, it's not heavy. This is all in porcelain. The quality of the work is superb. But look above all at the expression on the faces of the Marines. No gloating at all, but just unbelievable kindliness and pride, once again, in raising the flag of Britain. More than that, restoring freedom to the people of the Falklands. It is the spirit of Britain, and it is everything that makes us great.
And we tie the director and the producer part of their fee into the completion guarantee. So if we agree to pay a man for directing the picture, say $250,000. We say, all right, here's $125 million over the period of 6 weeks. We'll hold $125 million back. We're 160 here, 68 there, and there'll be the potential of building another one out on the point here of another 150 beds.
I'd started binging and making myself ill, and I went to a psychiatrist for it, and I was like, it was just, I was coming home from work every day, going to bed, and just staying in bed and crying all night. I wanted to spend all the time eating, and I couldn't see the point in going out when I could stay in and like have food as my best friend. When I'm on a binge, I am happier because I can have what I want and it makes me feel happy, and I know that I won't put the weight on because I can just bring it back up again and get rid of it.
Let the dog see the rabbit. By Jove, how's that, Mrs.? What a physique. I'm a bit like you, Gaffer, I'm a bit low-chested. First of all, Lydia, I'd like to say how tickled I am.
Yes, they were all ruffians, but I don't think probably any more than any other ones were.
How do you mean any other ones? Isn't that the origin of so many aristocratic families? They were better ruffians than the rest.
Oh, yes. Oh, very much so. And when in the days of the big bad barons and it was a free-for-all, it was the stronger big bad barons that got more than anybody else.
White plates and cups, clean gleaming. ringed with blue lines, and feathery, fiery dust, wet roofs beneath the lamplight, the strong crust of friendly bread, and many tasting food, rainbows, and the blue bitter smoke of wood, and radiant raindrops couching in cool flowers, and flowers themselves that sway through sunny hours, dreaming of moths that drink them under the moon. Then the cool kindliness of sheets that soon smooth away trouble, and the rough male kiss of blankets, grainy wood, live hair that is shining and free, blue massing clouds, the keen, unimpassioned beauty of a great machine, the benison of hot water, furs to touch, the good smell of old clothes, and others such, the comfortable smell of friendly fingers, hair's fragrance, and the musty reek that